Good evening and welcome back to my channel. So we're at the painting bench, and before I got started I wanted to go ahead and do a quick look at where we are. So I've gotten the thruster pods together, or the quote-unquote legs of the Veritech, and I have masked the places I don't want to paint with the base coat. Now you can see that yes, I didn't mask all the internal pieces because I can just repaint them. I can go back and get those again. The main fuselage, this has got the canopy on it, and also has the mask, the frisket over it. So I can go ahead and work on that canopy at some point if I feel like it. So I have that piece done. We have our centerpiece, and then we've got the tail assembly. So what I'm going to do here is I am now going to go ahead and pull out the airbrush, fire it up, and try panel line pre-shading. Now I will say this again, I was not happy with the way the pre-shading really came out last time I tried it. It may have been me. It may have been just the way it was. I kind of felt it really didn't work well. However, I'm doing new things with this kit, and I want to try a few things with it. So we're going to go ahead and give it another shot. I'm going to try and do some lower pressure and try and get a nice fine line and get that done with this, and we'll see what I can get out of it. So for now, and I'm doing this in this stage. So I want to get the pre-shading done, and then I want to put the base coat down with the assembly as this is. So I want to get its base color, and then detail some of the upper pieces so that I get the base coat in, and then I'll assemble the rest of it for the camo layout. So this is where we are for now. This is what we're going to go with, and I'm going to go ahead and fire up the airbrush and see what we get, and we will come back after I've tried the pre-shading. We'll see what that ends up looking like. So talk to you in a bit. Well, that went about as well as I thought it would. Maybe a little better. Me and airbrushes still haven't figured each other out, but that's okay. I've got some pre-shading down, so when I put the base light color down, it'll have some variation to it, which is what I was after. So this is the start. The next phase is to go ahead and put the 3 layers of the camo color down, starting with the light and working its way up to the dark. So those will be the next step, and then I will be back after I've done that much. So hang on again for the miracle of modern technology. It'll only be a moment or two for you, so I'll talk to you in a moment. Okay, I'm back. So as we can see, I've gotten the camo laid down. I apologize again. Let me see if I'm going to figure out how to do this without being able to knock this around. So as you can see, I've got the camo laid down. I have not uncovered the canopy or done any of that yet, but I've gotten this far. So I've laid down the camo, put on the landing gear, and done the base wash of the inner landing wheel wells. So that's what our landing gear looks like, or our camo scheme looks like, right? So it's still a little bit fragile, so I'm not going to fiddle too terribly much with it. I don't have the all the little lights and stuff in. I'm going to go ahead and start the weathering pieces. I'm going to start blocking in the main color pieces, or the main color part. So I need to update this. I need to repaint back here a little bit. So those shells right there, repaint these intakes, and then repaint the underneath intakes right there. So I figured the masking was being challenging, so went ahead and did that. I did the silly putty mask. So you've seen those the specialty stuff that you can use to stick on for masking. Cool thing, Silly Putty is cheap. This giant egg was $4 US, so you know, whatever that translates to where you are. You know, and you can form it, shape it, do whatever. I learned a lot. I've never done this method before, and this is only the second vehicle I've done, well, maybe the third vehicle I've done a camo skeet on that I actually tried to do it right on. I'm learning how to mask. It's taking a bit. I kind of over masked for the base sand, which meant masking for the green and the darker, the off gray was challenging. And I made a mistake. I started pulling it off when I realized that I needed to not do that. So there's some overspray part here. There's a couple places where the masking is different, and that's me learning. I'm okay with it. You know, this is going to be weathered, and I'm okay with that. Those little subtle variances, because you know, this is a learning model and it's fun. You know, and I'm trying to do the best I can, but it is a learning model. I'm not going to completely redo the thing for that. I learned what I wanted to learn, and that's good. The underside had its issues with masking. So if you have this and you're looking to do this one, you know, I thought about this. In order for the doors to have a camo scheme that matches, the doors need to be on. But those things are flimsy as heck, and they fell off like 3 or 4 times. So there's a lot of, they're really, really, really fragile. There's no way to mark these. These are held in by these little tiny tabs on these things. Then I went ahead and put on the landing gear, which was, you know, helped so that it could stand up. The rest of the masking was okay. Masking the engine exhaust, also, you know, that was all tape, but you know, it worked. And then, you know, we'll just go back and we'll touch up. So the frisket that I used covering the canopy works just fine. You can see, because I do rest it when I'd flip it, I'd rest it on this. If you're going to do this, it probably would be better to have a paint can lid, you know, something like this. So yes, I use it for water because I'm cheap. Don't buy a custom made mug specifically for it. Probably would do that so it would rest here, not on this and the points of the thing. The other thing is this point, this the tail piece, the tail assembly piece, that's also flimsy as heck. So getting that glued in and solid is a little bit challenging. What I ended up doing was gluing it to the hands or the arms. You can see, you probably can't see. Right there, that join there, I ended up gluing that because that's the only point I had. I also did touch glue the wings open. So I put a little touch of extra thin at the wing roots, because with it flopping back and forth, it's hard to get it in a place where it would be solid and stay put. Okay, so those are the gitches for this one. I did, like I said, I gave it its overall base before I put the engines and hands on. Then I went ahead, put those on, and went forward. So I will put up pictures of, you know, where we went and the steps I did here. So with that done, I've also moved on and done a little bit of work on the head. Now I gave the head a dark gray look, and I'm giving the laser cannons brushed gunmetal. Then I'll highlight and back them back down to, because with the gunmetal I give a nice burned look. It's something I like. Is it canon to Macross? No, it's not, because Macross didn't detail like that. I also have started the chipping effects. Now remember, this is only going to get seen from about here, because it's going to sit in this well there, so you're only going to see the top of it. So I am doing chip marks on it so that it looks weathered and used, and I will be doing that to the whole thing. I'm liking the way that's coming out. I also need to start shading back and modulating a little bit the black here. This is a dark gray, so as always, you know, you don't do black, you do dark gray so that you can shade back and forth. And I did the same for the gun pod. Minor bits of chipping here and there, and I'm not looking for totally battered and worn. So this is, you know, I don't want it to have been, or I'm not trying to give a look of, you know, this thing is mauled and destroyed. I want this thing is, you know, it's been in a couple of battles, been knocked around. We're not worried about painting it. So we'll do some shading in here. Again, this is a dark gray. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's a dark gray. And then I can start shading in the panel lines, put some oil leaks, highlight up. And then also when you're doing this thing, think about where it would be damaged. So it would be held like a gun like this. So I'm going to put a mark somewhere along here. I've given a little bit there, but a mark somewhere on the underside where it shows perhaps it was used to block or punch or kick or, you know, something, right? It's going to get knocked around. So I want to give some of those looks. And again, remember, it's only visible, so just the top of this fin and then the bottom part of this is going to be visible. The rest of this is not, so there's no point in doing a lot of work there. So there are other detail pieces, so there's all the little crossbars that go in these ports. They're still to go. Again, I chose to not do them yet. Let me pull those guys out. They're right here. Case screw. Oops. Flip all that around. Sorry about that. Because, you know, screws stick. Screws stick to each other. There we go. So on the case sprue, you got all these little guys. And they go across all of these little vents. There's a, they make them look like candles. I'm really not sure what they're for, other than, you know, highlighted detail. I'm going to put them there. You know, I'll put them on, but I think I may want to treat those like RC thrusters, but not sure yet. Still fiddling with that. So anyway, this is where we are so far. The next phase is the base paint of that, and then the transfers. So getting the water slide transfers in, putting them where they belong. Now these here, right? Yeah, so might as well talk about it. It's these little parts here. So those are actually, they actually glue on. They're those little dots are pieces you glue on. In theory, you put this water slide transfer down, then you glue those on. Damn it, sorry. In theory, you would put this water slide transfer on and then you glue them on. There's a similar one like this somewhere. I'm gonna think it's on the front of the hand. Yeah, there it is, so right there. So the theory is, at least according to the instructions, and I, again, realize this now as I look at the water slide transfer, that decal goes, they're supposed to go down and then you paint it. I'm assuming that's in the instruction book, and I'm giving a quick, yeah, so here we go. I don't even know that they tell you. So where was I? I was just looking at it. Right there, okay? So that's it, I'm assuming, telling you that decal, so water slide transfer 23 goes on the A4 and then A5. And you can see that's those little pieces, K8. There's 6 of those things, so there's the 2 that go there, and then there's the 1 that go in the hand. Again, my failure to understand Japanese meant that I missed that piece. But anyway, it's fine, it's workable, it doesn't matter, because I can still do that detail with a paintbrush, because I can easily paint that in if I choose to. I'm not even sure that I want to change that color. I will probably highlight the lenses, but I may not highlight anything else. The rest of your water slide transfers are there, so that's my next step. Do I decide to go with a one of the questions is going to be what markings I'm going to give it, that's still up in the air, but I will figure that out as I go. I don't know that I want to put, I'm not going to put the big V for the front, because that doesn't go with the camo scheme, but I'll definitely, all of the stencil markings will go, the Jet Blast will go, and then I'll figure out the numbers. If I need to, I also happen to have, because I have it, is a decal sheet for, got these furball decal and decals for U.S. Navy Tomcat. So I have these as well if I want to add different markings if I choose to. That's to be determined. So there we go. That is where we stand now. This was the base painting video, so you've gone through those little steps here. So I'll join this all together, edit it, and there you go. Again, as always, I will repeat it because I always repeat myself. I hope this is helpful, encouraging, and useful to anybody watching. And if you are watching, you find this entertaining to watch, and I hope it encourages you to try one of your own. Go ahead, grab a kit, build it, and as John would say, build it and enjoy it. So, thumbs up. Thank you very much. I will talk to you next time.